What's up everyone, this is Pooka from the Top Cut, bringing you some more video content, and today we're going to be trying out something a little bit different. Figured I'd mix it up a little bit and see how it goes. So this is going to be a best 2 out of 3 series between myself and fellow Top Cut member Drew Holton, and we're just going to be playing some fun games, see how it goes. He's going to be using his Excadrill deck, which he claims is amazing. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to be using whatever I feel like. I've got plenty of decks to choose from. But we're going to see who comes out on top in this series. It's best 2 out of 3. So there'll be 3 games in this video. So stay tuned for that. And we'll jump right into game number 1. Alright everyone, welcome to the first game of the series between myself and Drew Holton. So you can see his screen name is Dude the Drew 730. I don't think he's ever changed that since he started playing. But he's going to be using his Excadrill deck, like I said, and I'm going to be using a Darkrai Terrakion deck. So we'll see what happens. You know, he's starting off with a Stunfisk, draws 1 with a Bianca, and I start with a Darkrai. He's going first, so he will be able to use Muddy Water and hit me for 40, which is pretty annoying, but we'll see what happens. All sorts of stuff can happen, especially, you know, if he doesn't draw anything else. But it looks like I'll probably have to use N to get a new hand here. I don't want to Juniper that away. Bianca's only getting me 1, so I definitely need to play N here. I just play the random receiver before the N, in case I get a Sableye and I have to junk hunt for it. It's just a way to give yourself more options. You know, if you get a Sableye, but nothing else, you can at least use junk hunt for that. So here, I'm considering using Ultra Ball. I decided to just go for it and then just grab probably a Sableye to put down, because I'll probably just retreat to it and then pass. I don't want to have my Darkrai rumbled in the active spot, because then I can't retreat and I'm in all sorts of trouble. I could be down 2 prizes on the 3rd turn from Stunfisk rumbling me to death. So that is not something I want to deal with, and as such I promote my Sableye to take the hit instead. So that is the logic behind that. You definitely don't want to get rumbled turn 2. You just basically lose your Darkrai. I do have the switch in hand, but I'd rather save that, make him waste a catcher if he wants to rumble me, and then he'll actually need a 2nd catcher to then knock out the Darkrai. So you just don't want to take the hit there. That is the point of grabbing the Sableye and retreating to it. You don't care if Sableye takes 40. It's whatever. So he heavy balls for a Terrakion here. And now we aren't seeing any Excadrills, but that's alright. He's got a bunch of fighting Pokemon, which obviously are good against Darkrai. He's already hit one of my Darkrai's for 40. So this is going to be a tough match, either way. Pretty much no matter what happens. And here, I decide to Bianca, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but I decide to go ahead and do that, draw 3, and I draw a couple energy and another Ultra Ball. So I think I'm going to Ultra Ball away my one of the darks for sure, and then looks like the switch as well. And then I could grab either a Terrakion here or another Darkrai. Probably Terrakion is the best bet, just to give myself an option to maybe attack next turn. And I'm just going to attach to Sableye here and then use Junk Hunt. Probably grabbing a Dark Patch and probably the switch, honestly, because that'll allow me to Night Spear for sure. So I'm going to grab the switch, and I should definitely grab the Dark Patch, because then I can promote Terrakion and then Dark Patch onto Darkrai, and then switch to Darkrai, and then boom, Night Spear. Alright, that is the plan. But it looks like Drew, he's going to catch out my Darkrai here, and he's going to get a rumble on it for 80, which is pretty annoying. That's going to make it so my Darkrai does get knocked out by another rumble. And also, he ends away my switch, so now I am actually stuck, and I am stuck with a very bad hand. So now I have 2 pretty bad options overall. I can energy switch up to Darkrai, and then Night Spear for 90 and 30. And then I lose my Darkrai and all my energy. Or I can attach to Terrakion, bench another Darkrai, and then energy switch to it and just kind of sacrifice my active Darkrai. Which is probably what I should do. But considering I don't really have any supporters, I'm going to take a very risky play here. And just... I guess I'm just going to attach Darkrai and Night Spear. I don't know if this was the right thing to do, but this is what I decided to go with. I'm going to go ahead and Night Spear. This is really just an ugly spot, no matter what happens. My hand is really bad. So I decided to Night Spear for 90 and 30. Looking back, this probably wasn't the best idea, but I did it. And now I have to live with it. So I guess I was probably thinking, I can just Confuse Ray for the knockout. It's an easy way to get back into this. But, you know, he ends me again, so maybe this isn't so bad. He also puts down a Muna. I guess he plays, Musharna. He grabs that with the Heavy Ball, and he's going to take the first couple prizes with Rumble. And now I decide to promote Sableye. I could have taken a gamble and then just gone like, alright, I have the Dark Patch, I have a Fighting. Maybe I could get an Energy Switch off. I would have been able to retaliate for a knockout. But instead, I promote Sableye just because I'm like, well, you know, I can just Confuse Ray for a knockout. I could go for that. Do I want to attach the Fighting and just do it this turn? And I actually decided to attach to Terrakion, so I decided to go another route. We're going to catch up Muna and then end him down to 4 and see if I can buy a turn here to try to just get something going. And as you can see there, I actually would have drawn the Energy Switch. Not that that makes it the right or wrong play, but I would have drawn it. And my risk would have paid off, and I think I would have been just fine in this game if I had just kind of promoted Terrakion, Dark Patch to Sableye, attached to Terrakion, cross my fingers. But now he puts down a couple Drill Burrs, which I'm not really too afraid of, but there's a Catcher. And okay, he doesn't really have anything, so that paid off. I'm not too upset, and I got a trade offer accepted, so woo, as Drew would say. So here I have to play my hand down pretty much no matter what I do. I'm going to discard an Enhanced Hammer because I do not think he plays any special energy, and a Tool Scrapper because I also don't think he plays any tools. And we'll see what I decide to grab here. I guess just a Darkrai, because even though his deck is entirely fighting, you do still need to use Darkrai in these matchups. It's just how it is. So I'm gonna switch to Sableye here, and then Bianca for 4, and oh, no energy. That's pretty bad. Obviously there I'm hoping to get a Dark Energy, or at least a Dark Patch, so I can Energy Switch and Junk Hunt there. But no deal. Not working out. Drew's got 2 Excadrills out there. We'll see what else happens. He's only got 1 card, so I'm not too frightened. You know, really, he doesn't have a whole lot going for him, and I could very easily come back in this game. But I draw the dreaded 3rd Juniper as my next card, so I'm just going to be pretty dead for supporters the rest of the game, probably. I have to discard my whole hand to use Juniper here. That is like the worst feeling in the world. The only thing I'll really have left at that point is a couple N. So this is going to be a struggle. And this is just what can happen to any deck. You can just draw 3 Junipers at some point and you have to discard them. It's a bummer, but that's the way it is. So I do get an energy finally, and I also get a couple Dark Patches. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. Excuse me. I guess he could draw something that would, like a switch and some all crazy nonsense, but I decided to hold on to the Dark Patch. I'm not sure why, actually. I should probably just Dark Patch twice to the Darkrai there in case he draws an N. and then just get 2 energy on the Darkrai. Even if he knocks out my Darkrai, it's like, it's not that very big deal. But at the same time, odds are he won't have an N, so it's really an irrelevant decision there. I just decided to hold on to it to maybe surprise him, and go with a Night Spear next turn. Now, I do take 2 catchers from my junk hunt. I'm not too sure why. If I take maybe a catcher and an energy switch, that probably would have been better. Or even a catcher and a dark patch. But now I don't have an energy. This is the problem here. So I'm going to go ahead and catcher out his Terrakion. And then I'm going to dark patch onto Darkrai. And I don't want to play that N. I really don't. So I'm actually going to confuse ray his Terrakion for 10. I get Tails. So I want to set it up for a Night Spear knockout. Or a Retaliate knockout in. Oh no, he has a catcher. And an energy. Okay. He must have top decked one of those. And all of a sudden I am in some trouble. He's going to Land Crush my Darkrai for a knockout. So that confusion flip was big. Ugh, him top decking that was big. That was just not a pretty turn for me. And all of a sudden this is not looking good. I could have played a Darkrai there, decided not to. Decided to just end him down to 2. And, you know, I should be able to make some sort of a comeback here. And I retaliate for 90 in the knockout. Because he's left with nothing. He's got Excadrill, Muna, and okay, he drew Juniper, so never mind. Now I might be in some trouble. Like I said before, I'm running low on supporters, it's not good. And I'm down 3 prizes, so this is just how things can kind of spiral out of control when you're up against a fighting deck with Darkrai. All it takes is that one Terrakion, or he started off rumbling the Darkrai, that's all it takes. And from there, it could just be game over. That's silly, but that's the way it is. So here, I probably just attack him for a knockout. I can energy search here for another fighting. Just attach it so I have it on the active. And then I'll be able to Land Crush whenever I want to. He really doesn't have much to deal with a Terrakion, to be honest. It's got an Eviolite on it, so he's not doing much damage to it. And yeah, so I'm not too worried. The only thing I'm worried about is that I don't have an N. I don't want a Juniper because I have to discard a lot of stuff. You know, I have 2 catchers in my hand now. And I have a Dark Patch that I don't really want to get rid of. I have an Energy Switch I don't really want to get rid of. So it's just ugly overall. I don't want a Juniper, but I'm probably going to have to at some point. So he goes and uses the Tunnel Strike to knock out my Sableye. So here, I'm going to catch up his Terrakion. And just because it's like the only real threat on his board. And then I'm going to Ultra Ball for a Darkrai here, just so I can Dark Patch to it. It's probably safe. Like, what's going to knock that out? I could... I don't know. I could hold on to that Darkrai there and not do that. It's probably the safer play, but like, he's got a Terrakion with no energy. What are the odds that this ends up burning me? And really that's the only threat on his board. Like Excadrill, okay. Am I going to lose to an Excadrill? Probably not. So he... Uh-oh, he plays an energy switch. And a second energy switch? Oh no. Is he going to power up this Terrakion in one turn? He's got a catcher. I guess this is the one way that this could end up burning me. Yep, there's a Juniper. If he just has an energy, I lose now. So out of nowhere, this Terrakion gets completely powered up, and I end up losing to Excadrill. So this is quite an embarrassing loss, but it happens. Terrakion's pretty good. Excadrill really didn't do anything, but the Terrakion is pretty good. So I'm going to lose the first game. Drew is up 1-0, and we'll be back for game 2 shortly.